Today we'll be talking about functions in Python. So let's begin. So first of all, what are functions? Um, in the context of programming, a function is a named sequence of any statement that performs a computation like any command which we had given. So we can specify our function name ourselves, and functions, they are some are predefined in Python. So I'll just open my terminal just quickly, and um, I'll just type in some Python command. So just let me type in Python 3, and now I'm in the Python 3 programming area. And yes, you can use idle for this, or you can use your command prompt, which is on this corner in Windows. So at the start, wait, let me make this bigger. Dirty programming habits. Yeah, so now I think it's visible properly. So I'll just, um, like predefined function is type. So type 1, it is a class integer. So this type here, it is a predefined function in Python. Like when I'll type in type, and when I'll put in semicolons here, and I'll put in 1, close, I'll run it, it will say string. And I'm guessing that you know that with string, with semicolons, we convert um, the our number into a string. So if you had not, if you don't know that, then I suggest that you start with that you leave this course from here and you start from the basic video, which would be right here. So just um, coming back to the point, so this is a built-in function, right? And what we have here is in these parentheses is called as an argument of a function, right? So it is the value that we get out of this type function. So there are many built-in functions, like one of them is type, and then there is max and min, um, maximum and minimum functions. So like for that maximum we'll type in max, and I'll just put my bracket here and I'll enter string hello world. Hello world, and now here comes w. So it is having the maximum value of something called um, ASCII or ASII. I'll just check it. Not this. Why did I close here? Yeah. Um. So yeah, it's this only ASCII codes. Yeah. So these are some codes given to the numbers. So I'll just open them in Wikipedia and show you guys the table. So I'll just zoom in over here. No, this is the wrong one, not the right one. I'll just type in value for W. So it's called as ASCII code, and so here these values are like that, like this. So basically, it's a whole table is made, and these alphabets, they are represented by binary code digits and ASCII code digits. So what the small w is having a greater value than capital digits, and it's because when this Python was created, then only capital word letters were introduced. That's why they were counted first, and they had a shorter value for um, ASCII. But later on in Python, small alphabets were introduced and some symbols were introduced, so they had greater value. So here it is having H. Here hello is capital, so it will be having like the it will be not the maximum. And I'll just try here min, that's minimum value. Put columns here, type in hello world, and I'll close it off. Then here this comes. So this is about maximum minimum, and what we can do is, if we want to see that um, which letter has bigger value, then you can just go with all small letters and still W comes, right? Yeah. So this is covered, and basically the max functions talks about the largest character in the string, and the minimum function shows us the smallest character, which turns out to be a space. Okay, so suppose if I don't give here a space, then what will happen? So I'll type in minimum, and I'll go with H capital. Oh, hello world. Oh yeah, I forgot. I was going to give space. I'm not going to give space. I'm just going to press enter, and H comes as the minimum value. And when I type in minimum and I'll keep all caps, then let's see what is the smallest value in hello world. So I'll just run it. What happened? Oh, a trace back. I messed up here. I meant it to be. I need here semicolons. I think, yeah, the spacing was incorrect. It's not so efficient, when you are using terminal or command prompt to do direct commands, but these basic functions, they don't require text editor. So if you're just starting off with Python, then why to waste time in installing a text editor and all that? So D has this capital D has the smallest value. So, and let me just show you one more thing. No, I think you guys now understand the difference of minimum and maximum. So I'll just come in on another view of built-in function, that is a len function. So it is like this. We use it as this len. And what is len function is that it tells us how many items are there in an argument. So I told you guys what is an argument, and like the area like here, this is an argument, right? So it tells us that how many things are in items or things are in an argument. And if the argument is a string, then it returns a number of characters in the string. Okay. So like Let me tell you. Len, I'm pretty sure that you did not get what I meant by it returns the number of characters, but just I'll show you. I'll put parentheses here. So it shows 11. So one character, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then why does 11 come here? Because it counts the space as well. Okay, space is correct. Yep. So this is len. Okay. So it counts space as well. So that's why it shows 11. So these are the functions, and they are not limited to look up to strings. They can be operated with a set of values, but I'll tell you later on about that. I'll just keep it quite basic for functions, right? So coming on to type conversion functions, okay? So what I mean by type conversion functions, so you know type function, right? Now we know that this type is string, and then type conversion. So I want the string to be an integer. That's a type conversion function. So it's quite simple. I'll just type in int. Let me take an variable. I'll take in a is equal to, and I'll put um, commas, colons, so that it turns into a string, and I'm going to put the value 1 over here. Okay, not bad. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to save it in Python, and now I'm going to go with type um, type a. Then it is saying a string because it's in the commas, but I don't suppose that I don't want this as a string. Then what will I do? I'll just convert it into an integer, right? So I'll type in int, oh, I by mistake pressed enter, int a. Now I'll run it, and now it is telling me that now it just made the a value, which is a string, an integer. But now if you're thinking that when I type in type a, then here a int will come, but you're wrong. Here a string will come. So what is the use of it? If you are typing it in type, then you need to put an int also in there, and then you are going to type in a, and then you close the brackets for type and for int, and then you run it, then it says class int. So that's how you convert it into int. And we can for string, if you need to convert, then we are going to use str, and if you are going to use it for float, then we will just type in float directly, small float, float a, just close it up, float. I'll just print um, float value, float value of a, right? I'll close it up, and here comes 1.0. So that's how we do it. That's how we convert the functions. These are also built-in value. When you will download the Python, then they'll be automatically installed inside. So you don't need to install any external libraries or something like that. Okay, and it will work on command prompt, command line, anything. Yeah. So coming to math functions, right? So Python has a math module that provides most of the familiar mathematic functions. So before we can use it, we need to import it. So it's automatically downloaded. You just need to type in import and math, and now it has imported. And now you can, if you want, you can print math, and it is saying that where math is located. Okay, so module maths is here. It is in this file and version 3.8. So that I'll just make it a bit. Oh, I think it's fine, right? This statement creates when we print a print, then this statement creates a module object named maths, and if you print the module object, you get the information about it, like where it is stored, what is the framework, and what is the version, so all that thing. And the module object contains the function and variable defined in the module. So to access one of the function, you have to specify the name of the module and the name of the function, right? Separated by a dot. And this dot, yeah, it's also called a period. So this format, it is called as dot notation, right? So just what example shall I give you? Um, um, the first example, okay, so I'll just type in ratio. Oh, my bad. I'll type ratio, and ratio is equal to signal power divided by noise power. Okay. So this first example computes an algorithm base 10 of the signal to noise ratio. So the math module also provides a function called log that computes algorithm base. So when I run it here, it is telling that it is not defined. Okay, because I did not define any of this thing. I was just making some words. So like I can define these things. Okay, like what can I put in values? Um, okay, so now let me put some values over here. So first I'll put a value for something called a file name called as radian. So I'm going to put radian, or shall I'll just put radians. So I'll put radian is equal to 0.7, I guess that is fine. And now I'll put a value called degree, radian degree. I think most of you will be familiar with what is a radian degree. I'll just put S here also so that degrees and radians, right? I'll put it at 45, and now I'm going to go with radians is equal to degrees divided by 3. What was the value? 360.0 multiplied by 2 multiplied by math.py. So I'll explain this math.py. Just let me run my statements here. And now I'll put in math.sine. Now I'll put in radians. Okay. And here there was no need to put a radians value. So now here this value comes. Okay, so now let me explain you. So the expression math.py, so let me explain you what that means. gets the variable pi from the math module. So the math module which you imported, this math.py imports the value for pi, that's pi value. So we don't, the pi has a big value as you all remember. So instead of typing in 22 by 7 or 3.14, we just imported the pi's value, okay, and used it directly. So that's how we used it. And if you know your trigonometry, you can check the previous results by comparing it to the square roots of the divided by the 2. So you can use trigonometry here as well. So just you will use math.sqrt, and that's how you can sqrt is square root. Okay, so and then in the bracket you can put 2, and you can use this math um, file which is already in your Python file. You just need to call it by the import function. And now there are something called as random numbers. So we have the same input in most of the computer programs and same input, right? So usually a good thing, since we expect the same calculations to come as the same results. Making a program is not so difficult, it's quite easy. So the random module provides a functions that generate numbers, which which I will simply call random. Okay. So so the function random import returns a random float between 0.0 and 0 and 1.0. And it includes 0.0 but not 1.0. Okay. So each time I'm going to call random, you get next number in a long series. So I'll just start with, I'll just run it. Okay. So I'll import random. Okay, I imported it, and now I'm going to give some spacing over here, and I'll type in for I in range. If you don't know this, then this is basic looping, so you can see it from this video, or it will be in my recommendations. Okay, so for in range, and let me set the range to 10, right? That's enough, I guess. And I'll just start my loop, and I'll put in the value. How many spaces did I put? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So I'll put x is equal to random dot random. And now what I'm going to do is come out of this loop and going to print x. Okay. And now this program produces the following list of 10 random numbers. Okay, and here it should have been producing a list of 10 random numbers, but I by mistake pressed backspace over here and I came out of the loop. So I'll just type in the command again quickly. So I imported random. I'll just type I important, so I'll just put in for I in range, and I'm going to put in 10. Going to start my loop, 4 spaces, going to type in x is equal to random dot random. I'm going to put it in the space, and just going to indent it. I'm going to type in a print value for x and just going to press space and going to be down, and I'm out of the file. Line 2 to random, no attribute random. Okay, so I needed to download it, like I needed to import it, so I'll just import random, and now I'm going to go for I in range. I in range, it's 10, so that's nice. And now I'll just put how many spaces, 1 2 3 4, and x is equal to random. I'm just typing in random again and again. Random dot random, and going to keep this value empty. And now I'm going to put, oh, here also I typed in random, so there was yeah, random. See, typing errors. You need to have good typing skills, right? Yeah. So here, this it gave us random values. Okay. X is random values. It is a random value in random. Okay. So we are getting some random values in between 0.0 and 1.0. Okay. And we are looping it at 10 times. So I have a curiosity to see that for I in range, okay, and I just want to see what will happen if I'll put 100 over here. I'll start the loop. I type in x is equal to random dot random, and going to print it, print x, and okay, so it gave us 100 random values. So that's kind of cool. I think we can get a lot of values from there. I just want to see how much values. So you know what? There are infinite values between 2 points, and it's some basic maths. But to my curiosity, I just want to see for I in range, and I'm going to put in quite a lot of zeros in here. So let's see how much big value comes out. Maybe I'm just going to make my um, terminal hang, but let's see. We are doing a scientific research over here, right? We are seeing, we are just what you can say, we are cross checking that what we were taught in school, was it correct, that um, that between two numbers there are infinite numbers. So let's check if we had been taught the truth or not. And now what did I do? Line twin module. Oh, I forgot again to import random. I'll just do it, yeah, because I need to check. And if you don't want to see this, then you can just skip 5 10 seconds, I think, because yeah, I want to do this range, and range I'm going to keep again this much the same. I'll just make it a lot of range, right? I'll just go with 3 lines. No, 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 no. And that would be too much time consuming. I'll just put in x is equal to random dot random, and random dot random. Let me just check that random. Yeah, that's correct. Brackets here, and I'll just print x Where did I go? Oh, I I printed it. Again a typing error. I'll just, well, this case sensitivity and all that gets a bit messy, in Python. And especially if you're not using a text editor, right? Or a in range. Yeah, range is spelled correct. And I was going to put another error in here. Quick for a in range. Yeah, I named it A. Okay, you can name it I, A, anything you want, right? Because it is just a loop. I'll just stop it here, and now I'll put in x is equal to random dot random. Yeah, I think it's spelled correctly. I'll go with print x, and yay! Let's see how much values we'll be getting. Okay, so we are getting a lot of values. You can see that, okay, we are going on and we are going on. I'll just open a new shell and I'll carry on, and I'll just um, see it's just going on. So later on I'll just see that how much values did we get. So I'll just proceed. Okay, so this is random, and now suppose we need to make our own function, so we can do that also. Okay, so here we use def. Okay, so def means defining, so we are defining a function, and we're going to go with def print, um, like what we want to name our, like I'll just put it def name. Okay, I want it to show a name, and I'll just put this column so here, and now four spaces. I think I did not count those. One, two, three, four. Yeah, four spaces, and now I'll type in print input. You know this command, right? Input, and type in your name. I'll put in comma here, and I don't think it's required. I'll just put a space over here. I'll close it. Why am I not able to leave? I'll just type in print, or I'll just type in 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll just comment it, right? No, 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 no. I think I'll mess up over here. I'll put a comment ABC. And why am I not able to exit from here? Let me just end this directly. Yeah. It was supposed to happen. These type of errors. Yeah, they are normal to me. I'll just use a text editor because I think I'll be not able to do it properly in here. So what I'll do is I'll just open Atom or Visual. I'll just open Atom, right? And I'll go to File, Open, and what shall I open? I will open course 3. I'm over here, and the central program over here. Cut all of this. Yeah, so my intro program is here. So this is like my basic program where I just do anything. Okay, so I'm going to go with def, and def I'm going to go with def name, and then I'll put some columns over here. I'll go down and I'll be going to be printing print, and I'll just add parentheses over here, and in this parentheses I'll put in an input command, and in this input command I'll put a prompt. In the prompt I'll be typing in uh, type in your name. So this command prompt is filled, and now I'll just put it over here, and now it is going to be working, and I'm just going to print name. So now what we made is that we made a function, okay, called name, and now we print that function. So here an input should come, and we can use it like that. So I'll just quit from my Python, and I'm going to type in, and I'm just going to go into my downloads folder, and then I'm going to go in my this folder, and I'm going to run python 3 intro.py, and I'll run it, and function name at okay. So what I did here went wrong. Print name, input, no name. So I called it back. It should have worked. I just need to type in name. Save it. I'll do Python 3. This by mistake cut it. So I just needed to print in print, and name I needed to put in columns over here, right? Now it knows that I'm talking about the function. So I'll type in python 3 intro.py, and here it says type in your name. I'll type in Daiwik, press enter, and it says Daiwik. Okay. And why is here none coming? Okay, because here we had used this. So type in your name, and I typed in Daiwik, and now it has printed Daiwik. Okay. So I called it back. Okay, so that's what we use functions for. And now functions, they can be used for creating many more things. Okay, like we can use basically functions, they are used in big programs, and this is when it is most helpful, using functions and all that. So I think this is all about functions. Thank you for seeing this video.